Big trade there at 1052, 700, 700. Big trade. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bagadon at Stock Market Caddy, and it is Wednesday. Had to think about it there for a minute. 11 a.m. And once again, we're giving you a free spot view on YouTube. Be sure to hit the like buttons. Helps us with the algos and and we appreciate the retweets. And the more folks we have, the more apt we're able to do these little spot views. We don't recommend or suggest anybody take any of these trades. What we're doing is just creating a little bit of an awareness of who we are, what we're about, and so let me share with you what is going on here. First thing is that you have this view of swing machine. And Swing Machine is an algorithmic trader in and of itself. We use it to trade robotically, but we also use it as a visual. We're watching this where we're not having to watch charts. If we look at the, well, that's the VIX daily. I meant to put that on to a 5-minute. Let me do that. And let me bring this all back into sequence here. We dressed this up a little bit on YouTube so that, not YouTube, but on Zoom, so it makes a little for better viewing. If you are on YouTube, you might want to put it on the best definition you can get for an image. We look at the 5-minute VIX, and the 5-minute VIX went long at 10:35, indicating to our members that the market is likely to turn down. Remember that time frame, 10:35. The ES on a 5-minute. And what happened here, Donald? Put them all on 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Okay, we like 135, so I didn't mean to do that. I did that somehow. So bear with me. We'll get these back up here. It's that easy to change intervals, so you get a chance to see how easy this tool is to work with. It's very, very powerful, extremely powerful. And we have so many other things that we do with radar. It's just tremendous. And so easy to change the interval. We could do this daily, weekly. We could do it hourly. If you like to trade options, if you're trading options, like under 5 days, to have this tool on a 60-minute is just tremendous. Okay, so let's go back and let's bring this back into view. Let's get this little pocket we got with these little windows. So the 5-minute VIX goes long at 10:35. The 5-minute ES contract goes short at what time? 10:40. You're up 350. The NQ, just showing you where we are right here, right now, right? There've been trades all morning, but the NQ goes short at 9:55. You're up $1,000. The YM goes short at 10:40. And the Russell goes short at 10:05. Quite a bit of money there. Gold is long at 11:05. Could that have been that? Is that today? No, that's yesterday. Remarkable there. And then oil is still catching a bid. Now, we've been running a strategy since April 3rd. And this strategy is called SMC 7-iron. It's a beta strategy, meaning it's new. We've been running it. We ran it all last week, had a very profitable week. It only had one day last week that it was down. Finished the week about $3,000, multiple level profit factor. I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but did really well. We didn't change any of the settings. We let it run again. And on Monday, we ran it Sunday, basically Sunday night, midnight to 8:45 in the morning, right here. And it netted $2,060, running one NQ contract. Fully robotic. I didn't scalp it. I didn't stay up overnight. Just let it run. Profit factor of 171, meaning we made $171 for every dollar we lost. That is a beautiful thing. Tuesday night. Now, by the way, if you go to YouTube and you run it live, you go to our live section, you'll see the 8 hours if you want to speed up, and it's there. Tuesday from midnight to 8, this was yesterday, it netted $877, a profit factor of 3.36. Last night, we turned it on at 9:45 p.m. We just uploaded and compressed the video. And we turned, now, this is interesting, right? Because, and we were here for it for sure, at 8:29, a minute before the CPI number, the strategy was up about $250, I think $245 to be exact. Then the CPI number came out and it was on the wrong side. So that profit got chewed up. We went down, it booked a loss of, and the account was down $940. And then, in keeping with what we're trying to do, which is we're trying to turn it on at midnight and have it turned off by 9:30 or earlier, we turned it off at 8:45 with a profit of $1,037.80. Now, you might say that's cheating. It is. It is. When you stop your trading early and you choose to stop, I say, that's enough. I've had enough ice cream. Had enough chocolate. Um, you really, put it to the market. None of this hodling. No, time in market. Keep it low, as best you can. But we're using machinery to do this. So this week's catch, right? Now, tonight, we will put in Wednesday and we'll run it again. Now, we're not going to run on Friday. We will be done, right? We're going to not only going to quit our days early, we're going to quit our weeks early. And we're trying to demonstrate here best practices, and we're trying to demonstrate what we're about. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to sell anybody, and it isn't for sale, the 7i and beta strategy. I'm not. We're just trying to demonstrate what's possible. So this week's catch is $3,974 live in front of everybody. Profit factor 3.9, fully robotic, and no scalps. The only thing I did was make a decision to turn it on and to turn it off. Now, what is this? We're done trading. The trades are not going into the account. But the trade manager is still, this is a trade manager, and we've squeezed in this window here. It's still running the strategy on a chart, this strategy, this one. So just like Swing Machine is running profits here and P&L, that's this one running right here. So the last trade on the 7-iron was today. It was at 11 a.m. and you could follow along, and that's what it's printing. Now you might say, well, why don't you just keep running it? I could. And but we've been at this long enough to know that, again, time in the market is a risk factor. And if we can stay disciplined, we can enjoy our ice cream, we can enjoy our chocolate, and then we can also enjoy life. So when we want to go out and play tennis and play golf, we can move around, right? So you don't want to be in here trying every day for 8 hours a day, trade. I mean, we're here. This is what we do. But, I have a life. I have a beautiful life and a beautiful wife too. So I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, and these trades are still on running, but the difference for us, the difference here, and the difference for our members, if you are coming into these markets in a everyday kind of flat, maybe you watch CNBC, Giuliani, Dan Nathan, those clowns, and they are ass clowns, guys. God almighty, they're ass clowns. I'm sure they're nice people, but when it comes to the market, they're just ass clowns, ass hats. If you're coming in and you're just flat and you're like, okay, let me look at the 2 moving average over the 8 and the 8 over the 9 or whatever it is, and the MACD is doing this and the MACD is doing that, boy, it can get really old really fast and really hard to do. We're not doing that. We're turning on systems. And I'm not trying to suggest to anyone, your takeaway should not, please, and I'm going to get it. Hey, Bagger, how much is that bot? Send me that bot. I want that 7-iron. The only people that are going to get the 7-iron beta, and by the way, we are broadcasting live through our Zoom, are our annual members. Our annual members get everything we get. And we already have, and if they're listening today, please know, bear with us. We're going to get them to you. We've gotten out the beta out to 1 member. We're going to get it out to Gabriel and out to Chris. They requested it. But what we want to do is we want to make a video of the strategy, what it does. Very special. It's a very beautiful little strategy. And what the settings are. We optimize those settings. We're going to show them how. And we're going to show them exactly our settings of what we've been running for the last 2 weeks and what we're running it on. Now we're continuing to collect data, and they will do the same, I hope. And they might do it on something a little different. I don't know. This is where it takes weeks. It could take months for us collectively to take this strategy and to continue to vet it, VETTE, vet it through various charting packages and different configurations. We're already getting some feedback that is really interesting to us. It's exciting, and it's this is what we do, right? And we never know what we're gonna, develop. It's new, keeps it interesting, right? Um, so any case, so if you are an annual member, calling is not my cup of tea. All right, no problem. I'm sorry, I'll answer the question, but what was I gonna say? Lost my train of thought. But the beta strategies, what'll happen is it'll stay in beta. It could stay in beta for weeks or for a few months. And then other members might ask for it as well. So we have a collection of members that have said, hey, Don, I have the time, I have the interest, I get it, I know it's new, it's not totally vetted. I would like to have all your beta strategies as they come. So, and a beta could be a radar, could be an indicator. And so they will help us, right? In the end, though, there are folks that are members that just don't have the time and don't want to mess with that, and they just want to get it when it's done. If a strategy continues to hold promise and do well for us, we'll take notes on it, and then it'll lose its beta designation. It'll become a full-blown strategy. We will add it to our library. It goes into a video library where our members can access it, and we will send it out automatically to them all with an update, and they all get it. So we all benefit. John is asking us, what does it take to become a member? Calling is not my cup of tea. That's fine. We have members that that they'll patch in on Zoom and all, for years, and we just chat, via chat. So I'm totally okay with that. By the way, the strategy is not in here, but it is here, right? So that 11 a.m. trade it's short here, and it's up 540. Swing machine has been short on this, it's doing its thing here. So we got a few things that we're showing you here. Bear with me. Memberships are bear with me, are twofold. Hold on one second. It'll be just as easy for me just to bring in the website. So let me do that. Okay, so let me bring in the our website. So let me try to place it in here. And I'm just going to come to our subscription information. So a question was asked, and that's the only reason I'm answering it here, right? So oops. I hate when I do this. Okay, let me, I got to grab it. It's hiding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I put a window in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, I get it. Oh, shoot. Why does it keep making two of them? Well, that's kind of crazy. Bear with me. I'm sorry on YouTube. So we got a few windows open. All right. So I don't want to lose this. All right. So if you go to the subscription page, we have a monthly membership and it's $99.95 a month. And that membership is month to month, so what does that entail? That membership, you get a video view of all of our algos on a nightly basis. And then we try to get that video posted by 9 o'clock each night. And our members, monthly members, all our members can access that from Sunday through Thursday. And it shows all the markets, including stocks, presenting opportunities, more opportunities than one has money for. I'll just put it that way. There's dozens of opportunities every night, trading opportunities. Most of the people that are monthly members kind of fill a couple of different categories. They could be option traders and swing traders and working full time and just want to be able to stay in contact with the market. Maybe they're dollar cost averaging, when to be in, when to be out. They may not see the video every night, but we don't know what night they're going to watch it. And so we try to follow the same format. We don't cut any corners. Sundays are usually, it's no more than an hour. Sundays are usually an hour. And then during the week, probably average about 30 minutes. They also get access to what we call the Caddyshack. There are some educational videos in there. So it's really, really good value. And it's month to month. You don't like it after a month, you can leave. Very rarely does anybody leave though. So we have very, very high retention. So that's the monthly club. And here it is explained. Once you hit that button, we get a notice, and within 24 hours, we'll send you a welcoming video. You'll get the passwords, you get a custom scorecard, Nicholas timing, you get a whole bunch of things. Now, if a person is interested in a full annual membership, what is a full annual membership? That's the price. You still need to be a monthly member. And there's an asterisk here, and I'll explain what that asterisk is in a moment. What do you get? You receive all of our indicators, paint bars, show me's, radars, strategies on the TradeStation platform. They only work on the TradeStation platform. Technical support for all of our proprietary programs, updates and new programs at no additional cost throughout the year, customized programming for your ideas and concepts. That's all included, provided it's something that we can do. We haven't run into anything that we haven't been able to do, but they could be. 24, 5.5, 24 hours, 5.5 days, Sunday through Friday. You have access to this broadcast, which is Caddyshack Live. It's a Zoom broadcast. So when our computers are up, you can see them. And then we have an on-demand video library of all of our tools. And there's about 70 of them. Now, the asterisk. We do not let anyone join the annual without going through first a Q school. So you can't even do it. Somebody did that, and I have had people do it. I turn around and send the money back. And we will. There's what we ask everybody to go through once is a Q school. And what is the Q school? This Q school is 3+ weeks. We have probably over 30 hours of self-paced education. And for 3 weeks, we want to present a view to you on our screen. We have a dedicated Zoom link, and we would like for you to be trading that view. We ask you to be in a simulated environment so that you can focus on the learning. And we stay with you for 3+ weeks. Sometimes it's 4. And we do everything from stocks and options, primarily futures. Now there's an asterisk here. And this is a one-time, and this is kind of what it includes. 25 hours of on-demand instruction, trade and simulation, right side by side with us. Learn advanced charting techniques, learn to manage risk, 0 negative outliers, learn to use the swing machine radar, the Nicholas timing model, learn to trade mechanically. robotically, robotic hedging. We're going to use divergences. We're going to use the VIX, the fear gauge. We're going to use the percent B. We're going to use stops, trailing stops, profit targets. We're in how to use automation. We're into trade proportion to your capital. We're into trade, trade stocks, options, and futures. Now, so a person would need to be a monthly member, and they would need to sign up for the Q. If at the end of the Q school, the person says, Don, you're a nice guy, I learned a lot, they will have spent $3,100. They could take that information and apply it, and I think they will be in the top 5% of all traders. I really do. They will do well. We hope, though, at the end of the Q school, they say, Don, and they don't have to have TradeStation at that point. Although I think, well, I know it would be better that you did, because we use TradeStation and we can really, really expedite the learning curve on that for sure. And TradeStation is very, very good in their own support, their own tutorials, but we can really augment it, how we use it. If at the end of the 3+ weeks, though, you say, Don, it's been great. Now, we just finished Gabriel and Julian. They did. We have very, less than one hand count folks that didn't for various reasons, most of which ended up calling back saying I kind of made a mistake, but and it's neither here nor there. But for the most part, just about everybody does go on to be an annual. And what we will do is, if you decide at the end to go become an annual member, we will rebate you 30% of this. We'll rebate you $1,000. And so then the person would go here to the annual membership, push this little button, and that would be the number. We can handle it either way. I mean, credit this, but you get $1,000 back. And then throughout the year, you can still come into the Zoom. You can still, put in requests to help you with your programming things. And Q School is over. I can't stay with a person, individually for that intensity, but we're available. The second year, what we do is it's not on the website, but I'll go ahead and answer it now. Our approach on this is to at minimum hold people's pricing the same, not to inflate it and not keep adding things on. Hold the pricing the same and to keep increasing value by keep bringing out new programs like 7-Iron. However, the second year, the cost on the annual drops from $4,000 to $3,500. You don't need to do the Q School ever again. And if we update the Q School, you still get access to it. And then there's some additional perks that we provide for individual annual members from one year to the next, but the cost does drop down. And we do some things to, again, lower the overall cost. So the idea is that as a mechanical robotic trader, your skill set is growing, your trading account is growing, you are becoming, more and more proficient with the tools, and we're hopefully increasing value and at the same time reducing your cost, and it works out really well. So that let me go find the YouTube thing there again. So hopefully, no problem. This is, not a, trading in the markets is it's a difficult endeavor and it's an expensive endeavor, especially if you're trading futures. It doesn't, we have zero tolerance for negative outliers. We want to be able to show you mechanically to control that. You come in here into the futures markets, you come into the options market, we've had folks, be up $20,000, $30,000 and then, give it all back and then some, so I don't know of any other endeavor whereby if you're not successful at doing something, they take the money out of your pocket. It's brutal. It's brutal, right? I spent my career not from Wall Street, and I spent it with surgeons. Did I do everything perfectly every day? No. Did I make mistakes? Yes. I don't think I ever made any mistakes whereby, a patient got hurt. I didn't. But that alone would have been, or was and is a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. But I guess what I was saying is that whether a person is a salesperson, a marketing person, then, you know, um, whatever, an accountant, a lawyer, um, we have all kinds of backgrounds. Whereas when you don't have a good business encounter, rarely does that failed transaction take money out of your pocket. You have a when you're trading and you have a bad transaction, they're going to take money out of your account. So it's I think in the early days of golf, I think, well, they had to pony up, right, to qualify, and they had to qualify every week and everything. And I think there's a lot of pressure. I think the young kids today are probably a little spoiled, but I don't know, maybe not. I'm not a professional golfer, but any case. So are we inexpensive? No. Are we the most expensive? Hardly, hardly. If you think about how we structure the pricing for Stock Market Caddy, what we're actually trying to do, and we're trying to facilitate a learning environment, and by going slow, we never have more than 2 people at one time. We don't do classes. We could, we don't. We've made it longer. I think in the beginning it was only a week or 2, so we made it longer, which takes more time on the Q school. We could choose not to do the Q school, and but I guess what we're trying to do is give everybody the opportunity to come into Stock Market Caddy incrementally, slowly, learning, thinking about what it is they're doing, and giving them an opportunity to say, no, that's not for me. It's it's out of reach, or it's too much, one way or the other, not just financially, but just maybe just too much time. And that's okay. During the Q school, a lot of it is self-paced, and I try to limit it to an hour a day. You don't want to be listening to me for 2 hours, but you have in the Q school, you have very specific instructions each day of what we're asking you to do. And we control that view, so you're not overwhelmed. And we've learned that, too. We've also learned over the years, from doing these Q schools, we continue to learn. So John, thank you for your question. Gave us the opportunity to address it. If anybody else is coming in and wants to know the details of who we are, what we're about, and the cost structure and why, you're welcome to push this little video back. You're looking at there are, on the other side, there are 24 trading days in a month. 24 if you're trading futures and you're trading on Sunday night. 100, let's say you take Friday off, because we almost never trade on Fridays. You take Friday off, you're at 20. $100 a day is $2,000 a month. 200, 4,000. 300, 6,000. So you can do really well. But do you have the patience? Do you have the discipline? Do you have the skill set? Do you have the mechanics? And this is very mechanical for us. Very mechanical. And we borrow the concepts from the game of golf. We try to make it fun. I could have made this about surgery. Having spent my life with surgeons, these guys and women, they're very mechanical. Their approach to their surgical procedure is surgical. They don't, you know, I think, what I think I'm going to do today? I'm going to put in that total knee, on this guy. You know what? Hey, why don't we do it this way? I'm going to do it that way. You don't mind? Yeah, let's try that. You know, I saw a video last night on something. I'm going to try that. They don't do that. They don't do it. No, no. I spent my life with them. They're very, very good. They're very, very smart. And and they measure. You may not think this about your surgeons, but they measure their performances, their outcomes, and they're very, very slow to change anything. It could be the smallest little piece of their procedure. And the only way, and again, I'm not a surgeon, but I was humbled to be able to, have them invite me into their surgical suite. And they knew I wasn't a surgeon, but they knew I understood their procedure, I understood what they needed and wanted to do. And it was no small, achievement to be able to have them invite you to come in. Otherwise, I couldn't have done what I did for those years. And so for a golfer, they talk about having a mechanical swing. It doesn't look mechanical, right? Now, I would think that guy Cantlay is a little bit, I think, isn't he the guy who was like really slow? That looked rather ridiculous. But the others have also a very mechanical approach, but they've done it so much, it doesn't look mechanical. It looks fluid. It looks beautiful. It looks easy. Anybody can go out, right, and shoot 70 or 72. Not exactly. Practice. Practice, 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 practice. And having the right tools, having them set up. So anybody who can fog a mirror can go out and open up an account. These tools that we're using here do not use MACDs and moving averages. You can spend your life plugging in, like I say, the 2 over the 8. I can remember, years ago, is it the 2 moving average? Is it a weighted moving average? Is it an exponential moving average? Or maybe it's the 2 over the 9. Maybe it's the, oh God, and in fairness, these, I think TradeStation gives a superb support, but I'll just leave it at that. But we don't use the traditional stuff. This is our strategies and indicators are proprietary to us. And Susan, fortunately, is very good with some math capacities. We do a lot of back testing. We do a lot of forward testing. But what is true from Wall Street, there's a lot of things they say that isn't true. One of the things they say is what happens in the past may not happen in the future. And that's true. This strategy that we're running, the 7-iron, told us that over the previous month that it would have the back test was saying that we would have a profit factor of around 2, that we would make $2 for every dollar we lost. We're running better than that. So, next week, maybe not, but as long as we're profitable. So I hope I answered the question. Going to be here. We're going to let you watch right up until probably about 12:15 or so. We're going to have the Fed number, right? And not the Fed number, the Fed minutes at 2:00. So markets will be rocking and rolling. But here's the strategy again. Here's that 11:15 went long. So you don't see this. This is running on yet another screen, and this is Swing Machine here. Again, we're in the house here, but this is the active strategy. This is 7-iron still doing its thing here. Could we have got in and scalped? Could you have made 100 to 200? Well, maybe you play along. I'm not suggesting you trade. I guess what I wanted to say is I'm not a broker, right? So we don't make specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. I'm not a financial advisor, right? We don't make specific, recommendations for anyone. We don't even make recommendations that John or anyone should do this. We don't. We don't. Um, we don't make any claims that if you belong to Stock Market Caddy that you are going to do A, B, or C. I don't know. I can't say that. What I can say is that we will have spent so much time with you that you have a good idea how we approach it. And I will do my absolute level best. And I think all of our members will say that, to try to patiently answer your questions and help you scratch whatever itch it is you have that you want to explore. And I try to go to that during the 3 weeks. We have an itinerary of what we want to do. But if you have something that you want to pursue, we will kind of drop what we're doing and go there, because I want to, for better or for worse, it may be something really good and we learn, and it may be something really bad too. We've seen, we've done this a lot, right? So we've learned a lot from teaching others. Um, but 90% of short putts, as they say, don't go in the hole. You don't know. We watched over the weekend, we watched the movie on Netflix of Bob Ross, the guy who was the painter. Remember the guy on public broadcasting? He'd do the painting, take a canvas, and next thing you know, 30 minutes later, he'd have this gorgeous painting. And but it was really interesting movie if you get a chance to see it, and great story. And he just said, hey, you don't know unless you try. If you have an interest, you have to try. And but he was like, practice, practice, practice. He just didn't, put that brush to the painting and just magically, I mean, he practiced and honed his craft. You have to be able to do that. So it has to be something you really like to do, and I think his books, or his thing, was called The Joy of Painting. I thought he was around like in the 50s or 60s, but apparently he didn't get started until the 80s. I could have sworn I saw him as a kid, but although I wasn't around in the 50s, but I thought he was around a lot longer. And but you have to have a passion, and you have to have the time, and you have to have the adequate risk capital, because one does. I mean, it just, you can't, we're not looking to make one trade or five trades, and that be it. So again, thank you for the questions. Anything else, let us know, and I'll let you watch. Thanks. So you can see the strategy that we're running is this one right here, right? I should probably put a little box around it. Maybe I should do that. Highlight this. It's in a flat spot, right? Now it's not trading. We stopped the trading, the actual trading on it at 8:45, right? So this is what got turned on last night, and it deposited that in our account, and that's what it's deposited for the week. This is what it did on Monday. But right now, it's still in the background. It's still running. It's just not putting in any trades. It's doing it on a screen. And so we can keep track of what the strategy is doing. And right now it's flat, meaning that it isn't long, it isn't short. It's still running, but it's not in a position. And the market has gone flat too. So it's actually, I'm kind of pleased that it's done that. And the market has gone a little dormy. We have the Fed minutes, and the market wants to, do what it does, right? We're not going to talk any macro babble here. It's kind of pointless. We're not going to talk about the Fed and get angry with this and angry with that. There's no point, right? We're here day in and day out. We're fortunate. It's the biggest, deepest market in the world. It's one of the last free things that we're able to do. And we're all about teaching and trading to create cash flow. I can look at the chart and I'm very pleased that it did cover that position. It was the last trade had been short, and it actually covered. So okay, so we're going to make an adjustment to the strategy. We might see it lose that flat position. But let me just look here before I make any. No, I do not. I'm sorry. I do not want to make any adjustment. I do not. We're going to let it stand. It's a little. So we will, when we have a strategy, we're collecting the data of what it's doing and then also watching as well. So I am glad. It is a little odd to me that it didn't go long here, but that's okay. At least it is not stuck in a short. If you have any questions on YouTube, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate the retweets. We'll be more apt to do some of these spot views at various times. A lot of times we do them late at night. Not a lot, but occasionally. And again, it's a chance to see what we're up to. I don't see anybody doing what we're doing. I don't. I see everyone else doing exactly what everyone else does. Guiadami and Dan Nathan. I think that, the inflation and deflation, I think the Fed is this, and I think the market is going to do that, and oh my God. And then give us a good dose of their political spin. I had no idea. But I'm not going to subject you or anyone to that. I really don't want to do that. We're here to extract cash flow. And the political spectrum just doesn't matter. Same thing on the golf course. When I go out on the golf course, I just want to play golf. You want to play golf with me? I'll play golf. But let's just play golf. Let's not, belabor all the other stuff in the world, solve the world's problems. Um, they're making a very long range, long range for us, as would be, 6 months or a year, God only knows. They can rewrite the rules. There's so many different things that could crop up. And that's always the case, always the case. So we're kind of trading the here and the now, right here, right now. Like one of them Bob Ross paintings, right? Just, get in and do your thing. If now on the swing machine, those of you that have been watching and kind of have the routine down, you might be wondering, well, how do you, there is a technique, right? There's a technique to everything. Technique to hitting a golf ball, technique to making a painting. And I can't paint, but that's for sure. But the 1 minute went long 17 1 minute segments ago, 17 minutes ago at 11:41, 17 minutes. What type of trade is that? It's a counter trade. It's long, but the 5 minute is short. Okay. So if you took the counter, we suggest to new people they don't, but if you did, yes, you're up $362. And it'd probably be a really good idea to take that money, because the likelihood is that the 1 minute is going to fail. And the 5 minute, even though it's down right now, this 5 minute at 10:40 is likely still to be there. A 5 minute is going to trump. So what we're really trying to do is we're trying to stay in the direction of the 5 and taking cues from the 1. It's about that easy, that simple. We have tools to do that. We have, robotic tools and other tools on a chart. Now you can also use swing machine. Swing machine is, I blocked out the name of swing machine. I didn't mean to do that. Can I adjust it? That could upset the Apple Card here. I better not. Oh well. Fix that another day. But you can use swing machine with advanced bar types too. If you're using point and figure, Rinko, or some of the other advanced bar types, range bars, you could still use it most certainly to help your mechanical trading. Oil solidly long at 835. And we do teach robotic hedging, right? So you get short on the 5 minute and then hedge that position against the 1 minute. How can we be both long and short the same market? We can do that with the same contract, which would flatten it out, or we could use a mini contract here and use like 5 micros here and use different markets to hedge for different time frames. Similar to golf, you go to the driving range and everybody gets a bucket of golf balls and everybody is hitting the golf balls. You'll see some young buck, and he'll be banging that golf ball out there, 350, 380 yards for the little girlfriend. There are lots of girlfriends and everybody's hooting and hollering. Look at them hit that golf ball. There'll be some old guy on the end and he'll be just slapping away, hitting this, hitting that. Just because you can hit a golf ball 350, 400 yards one day out of 100, on the driving range, doesn't mean that you have a golf game. You will find that out. I hope I'm not behind you, but out on the course. But there's a lot of shots. here are these guys, they play golf every single day. I mean, it's their career, it's their life. They play, and they're still. There was a video of Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus. You know, here they are in their 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe. Played golf all over the world every single day, won tournaments all over, and they're talking about the golf swing for an hour and a half. You know, what you would think, what else is there to talk about? I mean, what, and they're talking about this and that and giving each other suggestions and tips to hit this shot or that shot. Trading, not much different. So you better like it. You better like it. Because if you don't like golf, you don't want to be out there. Be a long afternoon. Have fun. Okay, so we just got the notice. We've been up for a little bit over an hour. We want to say thank you for stopping by on YouTube, and thank you for your questions. And um, if we're not in your immediate future, maybe we will be later down the road. We've been here a long time, folks. We haven't been here for 6 months or 6 years. We've been here a long time, and we're going to be here. I love doing this, and the way that we trade, it's really pretty boring. So I like doing these little spot views. I like meeting new people. I like teaching, always have. And I love people realizing their dreams. And if we can help in some small way, that's a little icing on the cake. Good luck. Have fun.